folks, how y'all doing? Trent Clark here. Happy Friday to you. Let's get this show started. All right, every day we like to say $500 discount to our military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people looking for a building, make sure you get your $500 discount. If you want to upgrade to a signature or elite building, type in cash and you receive $1,000 off your purchase. All right, now let's talk about some specials. We want you to call in for our specials. We got special pricing waiting for you. Our building specialists will let you know about it. But I do want to tell you what buildings we have on special. We got a 20 by 50 by 12. Remember, all of our classic buildings are 5-on-12 roof pitch, and all of our buildings are standard 2x8 scissor truss across the board. Nobody does that. None of our competitors can do that. And they're going to tell you that it's not necessary. And I'll explain why later, while it is necessary. So, but you got this building, okay? You got a 30 by 30 by 12 classic building on sale. All right, make sure you call in and our building specialists will give you that special price. You got a 40 by 50 by 12 on special this week. Special price, call in. On our Elite Series, we got what I think is an unbelievable deal this week. You got a 30 by 50, a 40 by 50, and a 40 by 60. You get to pick whether it's 12-foot eave height, 14-foot eave height, or 16-foot eave height. That is usually a charge for each tier. It's a charge. And also, you get to pick a gable extension. You get to pick a 10-foot gable extension. So that's big, folks. It's up to about a $17,000 value that we're already throwing on this building. Remember, there's also a special price. If you call into your building specialist, he's going to get that for you. And remember, this is an elite building. All the bells and whistles. You get gutter brushes, control joints, 6-inch concrete, everything that the elite package has to offer. And I'll go over that in a minute with you. All right, we got this little gem right here, Cajun Oasis. It is an elite building, okay? This is a 20 by 30, $29,999, folks. Nice little cabin here. You can put a cabin on the lake. You can put it in the backyard, have a man cave or a woman or a she shed. But look, we're in this price. We're including your basic electrical package and your 3-ton AC system. So when we get finished with this building, you turn on the lights and turn on your air conditioning, and you got lights, you got power, and you got air coming at you. So turnkey project right here. All right, on this elite Cajun Oasis. Now, our referral program, like we say, we're going to pay you $200 every customer you send our way that buys a building. If you do that 10 times, we're going to not only pay you $200 each time, which equals $2,000, I'm going to ask you, or we're going to ask you to pack your bags and come stay with us in this cabin at the ranch. Lee Mallett himself will cook for you. He does cook a good steak. He cooks good ribs. Anything he's going to cook for you is going to usually be good. So pack your bags. Here's what the inside looks. And by the way, this is a post-frame building. Okay? Pack your bags and stay in this nice thing. You can kind of see the pond, one of the ponds through the window. But look, they have a bunch of different ponds here that are stocked full of fish. Some of them's got bass, some of them's got white perch, and catfish. Great weekend, great time for sending us referrals. So we're proud of that. We want you to be a part of that. So let's see. I'm gonna skip a few things today, and I'm gonna get straight to the classic building. All right, folks. Now look, it's very important to understand that here at Mallett, been in business for 26 years. We set the standard in post-frame construction. Nobody in our industry does what we do. Why? Because we lead the pack. We continue to lead the pack because now we have across the board came up with 2x8 scissor truss across the board, from our classic building, our signature building, and our elite building. What that does is our competitors cannot do that for you, okay? But they're going to tell you that it's not necessary. Well, I'm here to tell you that this 2x6 truss in front here, this is your 2x8. Look how much bigger this thing is, okay? Now, The whole truss is made with 2x8, folks. So what that's going to do is your bending strength of that truss increases 74%, which means it's 74% stronger in the bending strength. All right. Now, when you talk about the stiffness of that truss from a 2x6, what our competitors do. And by the way, our competitors, if they do 2x6, they got 2x4 inner webbing. What we do here at Mallett is a 2x8 total truss, and it's a scissor truss. Okay. So it's 175% stiffer. That 2x8 truss is 175% stiffer than a regular 2x6 truss. Okay. Now, all of our truss are number one dry killed lumber. Why is that important? Because most of our competitors are going to give you whitewood truss. Make sure you check that out. But our classic building now is our lowest tier building, and it is superior to our competitors' best building out there. So just understand that. This stuff matters. Now, you get a 2x8 scissor truss on our classic building, 5-on-12 roof pitch. Superior out there. Nobody's doing a 5-on-12 except for us here. They can do it, but they're going to charge you for it. But they can't do the 2x8 scissor truss. 26 gauge metal standard on the classic building. One roll-up door, one walk-through door. Engineered mono truss if you have a wing on your building. We're not going to use rafters. Remember, we're a licensed engineered firm. We don't shortcut you. We engineer your building to last a lifetime, okay? And especially to carry loads on that roof through the hurricane. 4-inch, 4,000, plus we add microfiber. What does that mean? Because most people just think, oh, I get concrete. No. Our competitors are going to give you 3,000. We give you 4,000, which is 33% stronger than our competitors' 3,000. And we're going to add microfiber to that. So our product is superior than what they got, folks. Now, you get a 4-year workmanship warranty on this building. Some of our competitors hadn't been in business 4 years. I'm not sure how they can give you anything more than that. Zack screws, everything's screwed on our building, engineered cable retention system, something our competitors just don't do. The engineered cable retention system, folks, ties all your posts together underneath that slab that is superior for uplift protection. When that wind gets in there from these hurricanes, more than likely your building will be standing. You might lose a couple of shingles, or metal, but it's going to be standing. Why? Because it's going to have to take the whole weight of that slab with it. No, our competitors don't do that. This building, our classic building, is 130-mile-an-hour wind loaded. Okay, we're gonna check and see if we can get better than that, but right now that's what it is. And when you jump up to the Signature series, that's everything that the classic came with, but now we're gonna give you roof and wall insulation. We're gonna give you 2 10x10 roll-up doors. This building is a 6-year workmanship warranty. Everything else that the classic building got, the Signature building gets also, but those 2 things. By the way, we got 4x4s behind all windows and walk-through doors. Why is that important? Because our competitors just don't do that. They're going to give you a 2x6, and we do that too, but we stiffen that up with 4x4s that are sunk in the ground. Okay? Now, when you get to the Elite package, it's the best of the best. Okay? You're still going to get the 2x8 scissor truss. And remember, all of our trusses are standard scissor. Okay? That's an extra. You got to pay way extra for that. See, our competitors, folks, they got to go buy truss. We build them here. We'd love for you to come and walk through our truss plant so we can show you how it's done. But we're going to tighten this building. The Elite package is a 10-year workmanship warranty. We're going to tighten up the truss spacing to 3 foot, and then we're going to give you a little tighter post spacing at 9 foot. A lot more wood going into this building. 5-on-12 roof pitch, 2 10x10 walk-through doors. You still get 26 gauge standard. Our competitors use 29 gauge, by the way. Be careful. Gutters and gutter brushes. We're throwing that in free for you on this building. Elite package, you get all the bells and whistles. That is a $20 to $25 linear foot around your building price. It's $2,500 plus savings we're throwing in free. You're going to get 6-inch on the Elite package, 6-inch concrete, which is 2.5 times stronger than 4-inch. And remember, it's 4,000 PSI, which is 33% stronger than 3,000. and we're going to add the microfiber into your concrete. So you're talking about the best building in the industry. Concrete is superior. You can drive an 18-wheeler in there, okay? Post protectors on this building, insulated windows on this building. You're going to get continuous ridge vents, Wayne coating free on this building. This elite package is 145 mile an hour wind load, okay? The 5 red flags you must understand, folks, if you're doing business out there, understand this. How many years in business? You can find that out on the Secretary of State, okay? That's very important, because if they're not responsible enough to get a business license, they might not be responsible enough to build you a building. So that's the first red flag. Make sure they have a business license. Make sure they have the proper licensure. You can find that out on the LSLBC. Make sure that they have a contractor's license. You know, they have to have that contractor's license to build you something. Even though if you pull the permit, you're technically the contractor on record. But in order for somebody, a business, to erect your building, they must have the proper licensure. Make sure they do. Make sure that they have no violations. You can find that out on the LSLBC. Reviews on BBB and Google. Doesn't it make sense to research and find out if they have any, reviews, okay? And finally, visit their facility. Folks, if they don't have a place that you can conduct business, if you're sitting in the front seat of somebody's truck and you happen to look in the back seat and you see all their tools and all that stuff all scattered out in the back seat, that might be a red flag, folks, okay? They need to have a proper place to conduct business. We invite you here to come us, meet the team, and see what we have to offer. So that's the red flags, very important, okay? There's many other red flags, but that's the 5 that are most important to us. And experience matters, folks. Here's about Mallett. We've been in business for 26 years. We have improved post-frame construction superior to anybody else out there. It's proven. We're continuing to do that last week when we upgraded all of our buildings to 2x8 scissor truss. We had a guy that comes in here and sells the plates that are used on truss, and he's like, he don't know anybody else that does that. And he sells to truss plants across, the upper states. You talk about Louisiana, Alabama, I forgot the territory he goes, but he don't know anybody that does that. And that's why I'm telling you, folks, we continue to push the envelope here at Mallett Buildings to make the building the best that we can for you. Even our lowest grade building, which is our classic building, is better than our competitors' very best building. It's truly unbelievable, all right? So we've been in business for 26 years. We do have the proper licensure with commercial and residential, okay? We have no contractor violations. We have 500 plus reviews on the BBB and Google. We have an A+ rating with the BBB, all right? We are community oriented. Lee loves and Mallett Buildings love to give back to the community. We do a lot for the community and the state for that matter, okay? We appreciate that from you, the customers. Without y'all, I'm not sure that we can do as much as we do, okay? So we're locally owned here in Iowa, Louisiana, all right? You know that our structures are superior to anybody out there. And if you don't believe me, come in. I'd like to explain it to you, okay? We take a customer first approach. What do I mean by that? We're gonna take you from design all the way to the completion. We want you to go on our website to design your building, and then our building specialist to give you a quote. So do that. All right, let's see. Just went over that, Let's see. We survived all these hurricanes, folks. I was talking to a customer yesterday. He said, the one thing I can say about Mallett Buildings is after the hurricanes we had a couple years back, I'm driving around and the only metal buildings that I'm seeing out there, or post-frame construction I'm seeing out there, is Mallett Building. Why? Because we use superior products. We build with engineered technology. We are a licensed engineering firm. We design buildings that last through storms, folks. And one of the reasons is our cable retention system that nobody else does. Just like nobody else does these 2x8 scissor truss. All right? Now, here's where the proof is in the pudding. Okay? We don't just say it, we document it. So we got a classic spec sheet, a signature spec sheet, and an elite spec sheet. Everything you need to know is on here. We publicize it. We don't hide anything. Unlike our competitors, they say, yeah, you get concrete. Well, we tell you exactly what kind of concrete, and that's why we know that we're superior than them. Because when you take a look at our spec sheet, bring it to them, there's going to be a lot of things on there that they just can't do because it costs them too much money. So make sure you use our spec sheet. If you want to talk buildings, come see us. Let's go over our specials one more time. Remember, call our building specialist to find out these specials. You got a 20 by 50 by 12 classic building, 5-on-12 roof pitch, standard 2x8 scissor truss. Okay, you got a 30 by 30 by 12. Call in and find a special pricing. Okay, you got a 40 by 50 by 12. Same thing, special pricing going on right now. Call to find out. This is the unbelievable, I think, on our elite, the best building in the business. All the bells and whistles. We give you everything included on these buildings. You're going to get a 10 by 20 gable extension. And yes, both. You get to pick the height of your building. We're throwing that in on these specials. That's up to $17,000 value. Plus, we're giving you a special. Call in and find out what it is. Cajun Oasis Elite. We're going to give you a 20 by 30 by 12 for $29,999. That comes with a electrical package and an air conditioner. So when we're done, turn on the light switch, your lights come on, and you start cooling yourself. All right? That's if you got a bid out there, we'll beat it by $1,000. Bring that bid to me or our building specialist, and we'll beat that bid by $1,000. Okay? Apples to apples. Don't forget that. All right? That's our show today. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday. We'll see you Monday.